In the country where one earns the most in Europe, salaries are more than 22 times higher than in the last ranked country. Strangely, in the country where one earns the most, there is unfortunately one of the highest gender pay gaps in Europe, with men earning almost 18% more than women. While in only one European country, women earn more. This demonstrates the significant difference within the small European continent. In this video, we want to show you the top 10 countries with the highest salaries in Europe. All the data we present represent gross figures, but we are also preparing a video on European countries with the highest and lowest taxes. For this video, we relied solely on official data from the UN, the European Union, and the OECD, and you can see our sources better in the description. Welcome to this new video from Amazing Europe. Number 10. United Kingdom. Let's start with the negatives. It's true that the United Kingdom ranks 10th, but the cost of living here is high. So, although the UK is in this top 10, it actually ranks 15th in Europe when considering the ratio of average salary to purchasing power. However, salaries are high, around €3,800 gross monthly. There isn't a significant difference between the four nations that make up the United Kingdom. Taking the extremes, in England, one earns about €4,000 more than in Wales. But the highest salaries are definitely in London, averaging £41,000 gross annual. Even though we should note that the cost of living is higher in this city. For some examples of salaries, in the UK, a specialist doctor earns just over €136,000 gross annually, a nurse €42,500, and a teacher €40,000. In the UK, men earn 7.7% more than women. The gender pay gap has slightly decreased in recent years in the United Kingdom, as in all nations in this ranking, except one. Number 9. Austria. With around 3,900 gross monthly, Austria ranks 8th in this ranking. If we look inside the country, we will discover that there is a not insignificant difference between the various federal states of Austria. The federal states where one earns the most are those at the extreme east and extreme west, and here one can earn up to €6,000 more gross annually than in Tyrol or Salzburg. Strangely, even the federal state of Vienna has a medium salary among the lowest in Austria. Giving examples of salaries, and remembering that these can vary greatly depending on various factors such as age or the specific sector in which one works, we can say that a doctor in Austria earns about €90,000 gross annually, a nurse about €45,000, while a teacher about €39,000. In Austria, highly paid are also software architects and program officers. But the real problem in Austria is the gender pay gap. On average, men earn 18.8% more than women, making Austria the second country in the European Union with a higher gender pay gap, second only to Estonia. Number 8. Belgium. If Austria's gender pay gap is one of the highest, Belgium's is one of the lowest, 5%. Belgium ranks 8th in this ranking with a gross average monthly salary just over €4,100. Belgian doctors earn more than Austrians, but less than the British. Very well paid, however, are nurses, with an average of €72,500 gross annually, second in Europe in this category. However, Belgian teachers fare worse than colleagues in the two other countries we have seen so far, with an annual salary just over €33,000. Belgium is divided into three regions: Flanders to the north, Wallonia to the south, and Brussels capital region. The Flanders region has the highest salaries, while Brussels is the region with the lowest salaries, on average €6,000 less than in Flanders. Also in Belgium, the highest paid jobs are those related to information technology, such as network engineers or system administrators, but also management and direction. Number 7. Netherlands. Next to Belgium, both geographically and in this ranking, we find the Netherlands. The salary in this small state is just a little higher than that of Belgium, but what distinguishes it from its neighboring country is the significantly higher gender pay gap, 13.5%. In the public sector, this gap is gradually decreasing, but unfortunately, there are no substantial reductions in the private sector, where women earn an average of 19% less than men, and this data has been quite stable since 2016. The salary of specialist doctors in the Netherlands is among the highest in the European Union, with almost €161,000 gross annually. Nurses also do not fare badly, with €60,000 annually. Teachers in this country, on the other hand, earn about €38,500. As for the salary difference within the country, in the western provinces, one generally earns more than in the eastern provinces. The two provinces with the highest salaries are Utrecht and North Brabant. Number 6. Ireland. Ireland has truly made giant strides in recent years and has earned a well-deserved 6th place in this ranking. The average gross monthly salary is around €4,600. In this wonderful island, men earn on average 11.3% more than women, a figure just below the EU average, which is 12.7%. Irish doctors are among the highest paid in Europe, earning nearly €173,000 gross annually. The annual salary of nurses is €57,000 and that of teachers is €37,500. Regarding teachers, Ireland and the Netherlands are among the countries in the European Union where the salary increases the most in less time. In fact, the salary of teachers in these two countries can increase by over 60% in the first 15 years of service. Even the minimum wage is constantly increasing. As of January 1, 2024, the national minimum wage in Ireland for employees over 20 years old has increased from €11.30 to €12.70 per hour. In Ireland, there is a significant difference between city and rural workers. Those in the city earn about €9,000 more, and especially in Dublin, one earns 16.6% more than the national average. Number 5. Denmark. We have reached the second happiest nation in Europe according to the World Happiness Report 2023. If you want to find out the first, you can watch the video we made on this topic, which you can find here at the top and in the description. Danes make a significant leap forward compared to the Irish and earn just over €5,100 gross monthly. The cost of living is high, but high salaries mean that Denmark takes second place in Europe when considering the ratio of average salary to purchasing power. Another thing that is high in Denmark is taxes, but we are preparing a video on taxes in Europe. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe to the channel and click on the bell. A strong point of working here in Denmark is the great work flexibility. Danes feel comfortable changing jobs to advance their careers, and every year, about 25% of those working in the private sector change jobs. The gender pay gap is 14.2%, so unfortunately, it is also higher than the European average here. Danish doctors are also among those who earn the most in Europe, with an annual gross income of €156,000. Nurses earn €66,000, and teachers €48,000. Number 4. Norway. According to Eurostat data, Norway is the only country in Europe where the gender pay gap has increased in recent years. The latest official data is from 2021 and report that Norwegian men earn 14.3% more than women, while in 2018, they earned 13.2% more. Norwegians earn a few tens of euros more than Danes, about €5,200 gross monthly. The 10% of the lowest paying jobs in Norway in 2022 had an average monthly salary of about €2,500, while the top 10% of the highest paying jobs received almost €9,500. Norwegian nurses and doctors are not among the highest earners in Europe, and moreover, nurses and health assistants are the professional group with the greatest shortage, but there is a shortage in almost all professions in the health and care field. The shortage is even greater in rural areas, where the percentage of elderly people is high while many young people move to cities to study. The sector where the highest salary growth is recorded in Norway is the oil sector, with managers being able to earn €10,500 per month. Number 3. Iceland. The bronze medal goes to this wonderful island in northern Europe. Icelanders earn just under €5,900 gross monthly, but the high cost of living means they rank 13th in Europe when considering the ratio of salary to purchasing power. Here, women earn 10.4% less than men. The most lucrative job category in the country is that of directors and CEOs of companies and institutions, earning about €13,400 per month. The least lucrative category is instead the professions related to childcare, with an average salary of €2,600 per month. In Iceland, the labor market has laws that protect workers more than in many other European nations. To give an example, when working on Saturday or Sunday, payment must never be less than 4 hours of overtime, even if less time is actually worked. If an occasional performance of 1 hour is offered, for example, if there is an emergency and one can go to work for an hour or two, the employer must pay 4 full hours. Number 2. Luxembourg. Not only are salaries in Luxembourg extremely high, but they are constantly increasing. Just think that in 2023, the legally mandated minimum wage increased twice, and now it is €2,571. The average salary, on the other hand, is €6,055 gross monthly. But what really makes Luxembourg special is its gender pay gap. It is the only European country where women earn more than men. In recent years, women have earned 0.2% more than men, and this data is improving, considering that in 2018, men earned 1.4% more than women. Why is Luxembourg so rich? Obviously, for several reasons, but analysts claim that it is mainly because it manages to attract foreign multinational corporations, thanks to its past status as a tax haven, and also because it now has very low corporate taxes. According to the report entitled, The Axis of Tax Avoidance, EU member states are losing over $27 billion annually in corporate taxes that should have been paid by American multinationals abusing the law to move their profits to Luxembourg, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom, where corporate tax rates range from 0.8% to 10%. We know this is a complex issue. Write in the comments what you think. Before discovering the European country with the highest salaries, if this video has interested you, we invite you to like it, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell to activate all notifications. This gesture costs you nothing but would help us spread our project to make European culture and society more and more known. Thank you very much. Number 1. Switzerland. Certainly, many of you will have thought, well, it's not news. And indeed, it's true. It is well known that Switzerland is the European country with the highest salaries, an average of €7,400 gross monthly. What may be a surprise, however, is the large gender pay gap in this country. In Switzerland, men earn 17.7% more than women, a figure that is nonetheless improving, considering that the gender pay gap was 18.3% in 2018. Why is the gender pay gap so high here? For several reasons. Firstly, paradoxically, because women work more here. In Switzerland, 75.4% of women aged 15 to 64 have a job. This is one of the highest rates in Europe after Iceland and the Netherlands. The EU average is 63.4%. But most women have a part-time job. Only 46% of women work full-time, compared to 86% of men. Women continue to take on a larger share of family and childcare responsibilities, which often leads to a reduction in the percentage of working hours and career interruptions. The resulting lower work experience can make it more difficult to access further training, promotion, or more demanding work, resulting in reduced salaries. With less education, women are much less likely to hold managerial positions than men, and therefore their average salary is significantly lower. In any case, Switzerland is first in Europe even when considering salary compared to purchasing power, also thanks to generally lower taxes compared to other European countries. These are the countries where one earns the most, and now we are also preparing a video with the countries with the lowest salaries. And since the figures we provided in this video are gross salaries, we are also preparing a video on European countries with the highest and lowest taxes. Click on the bell if you don't want to miss it. And if you're curious about whether countries with higher salaries are also the happiest, you can click on the video in the top right, where we've highlighted the happiest countries in Europe. Well, that's it for this video. Until next time.